In a small, green village lived a young girl named Imani. Imani had just endured the most difficult period of her life, the death of her father and mother, who had been poisoned by her uncle and aunt during a family celebration. Her uncle and aunt had wanted to seize all her father's wealth, which was why they had murdered him and his wife. While Imani was sitting in the living room, weeping bitterly, her uncle and aunt walked in. She thought they had come to console her. Suddenly, her uncle spoke up. "Start packing your bag and get out of this house. From now on, we will be living here." "But, uncle, this is my father's house. Where do you want me to go?" she pleaded. "Shut up, you fool. In 2 weeks, a man from the city will come here to fetch you. You'll go to the city with him and marry him. has already paid us your dowry, so start preparing yourself." "But, uncle, I'm not ready to get married." Before she could finish her sentence, a loud slap echoed across her face. "You have nothing more to say. If you come back here and your bag aren't packed, you'll see what I'm truly capable of. We tell you you're going to marry a rich man, and instead of jumping for joy, you complain. How can anyone be this stupid?" her aunt added. After this word, they turned and left the living room. Imani was lost. She collapsed onto the floor and began to cry. She had just been sold to a man she knew nothing about. The arrival of Newton. 2 weeks later, a beautiful car drove into the village and parked. It was the man who was to take Imani away. He was a very rich and well-groomed man named Newton, who lived in the city. He helped Imani into his car under the gaze of villagers who had never seen such a fine automobile. They then left the village for the city. Imani had never been to the city and didn't know what awaited her. She felt stressed through the journey. Once they arrived at Newton's house, Imani was impressed by the beauty and luxury in which he lived. She was both shocked and stressed. In the living room, she tried to start a conversation with the man who was now her husband to learn more about him. "Could you tell me a little more about yourself, sir?" she asked, sounding curious. He replied, "My name is Newton, and all I care about right now is making enough money. You've noticed, I am very rich." Imani responded, "Yes, I have noticed. What do you like, and what don't you like?" Newton replied, "What he like is money, and what he don't like is being without money." Surprised by his answer, she asked, "Is there anything you hate? Are you conducting an inspection, madame, or are you a private detective?" He snapped. Imani replied that she simply wanted to know a little more about him. "I am now expected to live with you, and I know nothing about you. It's only natural that I want to get to know you better." The young man replied, "Your uncle and aunt told me you were uneducated, but I'm already seeing the opposite." Imani realized it would be futile to ask him any more questions because he was too aggressive. She decided to postpone it. "We'll talk later. I wish you a good night." Newton also wished her a good night and asked her to go to bed in their room. She gathered her belongings and went to settle in Newton's bedroom. The shocking truth. Early the next morning, the young woman noticed that her husband was no longer there. Had he already gone to work? She wondered. She got up and started doing the housework. She cleaned the entire living room and tidied all the furniture. Then she cooked for herself and Newton. That evening, as soon as he returned home, Imani announced that she had already prepared food for him. "I've cooked for both of us. You can come and eat after your shower." To her great surprise, Newton replied, "I'm not hungry. I already ate in the city before coming home. You can't eat without me." Imani replied sadly, but he took the time to prepare the meal for us both. The young man replied, raising his voice, "Listen, don't annoy me. Don't think you're my wife yet. I married you just so I can send pictures to my parents when I need to. I could never marry a village girl like you." Stunned, she asked, "You married me for picture?" "Yes," he replied. "I married you just because of my parents, who keep asking if I'm married. Now I can send them photos to make them believe I already am. That is why I let you sleep in my bed yesterday." "Well, if that is the case, can you let me return to the village since you already have your photo?" "No," he replied. My parents are unpredictable. They might ask for more photo at any moment. I can't let you leave. I'm sorry, but I can't live like this. If I marry you, know that I also have expectation, because I am not an object. If you can't satisfy my expectation, then let me return to the village. Return to the village? I didn't spend all that money just to let you go like that. Do you know how much I paid your aunt and uncle to take you with me? Did you marry me or did you buy me? Well, both, Newton replied. Okay, if you can't let me go back to the village, could you at least help me get a job? I'm not going to stay here all day long doing nothing while you go to work. The television you see in the living room is not there for nothing. You can watch TV if you're bored. You don't need to work. There's everything you need in this house. Imani sadly lowered her head. Her uncle and aunt had sold her to a man who saw her à pupa. A change of heart and a new plan. Newton went to the bedroom and received a call from his mother. Hello, my son. Can you be my doctor-in-law? I want to hear her voice. Newton handed the phone to Imani. Hello, how are you, my doctor? I'm fine, Mama, and you? I'm fine, too. When are you going to give me grandchildren, my doctor? Newton's mother asked, sounding excited. Soon, Mama, Imani replied before hanging up. At the end of the call, Newton demanded, why did you tell my mother you were going to give her grandchildren? I told you he didn't want to have children with a village girl like you. He just did it to help you, she replied. He just made sure your parents wouldn't suspect anything. Isn't that what you wanted? And so, is that a reason to say such a thing to my mother? Do you think I'm in your category? I don't feel the need to marry yet, let alone have children. When I'm ready, I will marry a woman who truly suits me, a woman of my social rank, and with her, I will have children. But what about me? I am also a woman, and I won't waste my time here for nothing. Newton replied, you're not of my social rank. Plus, you don't take care of yourself. Your hair is dirty and your clothes are all and faded. If my hair and clothes bother you that much, I'll find a job myself to earn money and change them. Look, I already told you money is not a problem for me. Here, take this money, buy new clothes, and take care of your hair. After the discussion, she picked up her belongings and went to sleep on the sofa while Newton slept upstairs pour Imani's independence. The next day, as soon as Newton left for work, she placed all the money he had given her on the table. I don't need this money. I don't want this money. I am not an object. I will do my best to find a job here. I don't need to tell him since he won't help me. I still have my certificate with me. Maybe that will be enough to land a position here in the city. She left the house and began to roam the city streets. She applied for work at several city businesses and ended up getting hired to sell at an electronics store. That evening, returning from work, Newton had forgotten to buy food before coming home. He was so hungry that he went to the kitchen to see if there was anything to eat. Luckily, Imani had prepared something. He took the food secretly and began to eat heartily. Wow, this meal is really delicious. He didn't know this village girl could cook so well. But if he asks her to cook for me, she'll think she's my wife, and he don't want to take that risk. He quickly swallowed a few bits and rushed to his room to go to bed before Imani cooked him. It was then that he realized the money he had given her the day before was on the table. He went to Imani's room and asked, why did you leave the money he gave you yesterday? I don't need it, she replied. If you don't consider me your wife, I don't need to look beautiful for you. What would be the point? I don't consider you my husband either, so you can keep your money. Newton replied, I'm not giving you this money to please you. You need to be beautiful and presentable in photos so my parents don't suspect anything. They've already commented on your clothes, so you must change them. In that case, I'll borrow the money from you to change my clothes, but I will repay you later, she responded. Tomorrow, when he returned from work, I don't want to see you in this condition anymore, he ordered. You can sleep in my room if you want, or in the downstairs bedroom. It's up to you. Imani went to sleep on the downstairs sofa. The first sign of affection. The next day, Newton went to work as usual. As soon as he left the house, Imani also went to the shop where she was employed. Every day, she made sure to get home as quickly as possible before Newton arrived. At the end of the day, she went to a store and bought new clothes, and Newton had requested. That evening, Newton had forgotten to take his keys. He knocked on the door, and Imani came to open it. Imani had changed her outfit and was wearing a pretty, fitted dress that flattered her body. As soon as she opened the door, Newton stared at her blankly instead of walking in. You've been standing there for 3 minutes. If you don't want to come in, he'll close the door. You are very beautiful tonight, he admired. Thank you. You can come in now, Imani replied. Newton walked in, still looking at her. Can you get me something to eat? He asked. I'm really very hungry. Since when do you eat my food? You told me last time that you didn't want any, so I didn't cook for you today. Please, make me something to eat, Imani, he asked in a calm and respectful tone. Imani went to the kitchen and cooked something for him. While he ate, he was more focused on Imani than on his plate. He looked at her and thought, she's truly very beautiful. He tried to concentrate and think about something else, but he couldn't stop contemplating the lovely figure visible in that fitted dress. After finishing his meal, he approached Imani. He gently slipped his hand onto her shoulder and asked, Can you sleep in my room today, please? But Imani was annoyed. He don't want to. He prefers to sleep downstairs, as usual. You are my wife, I am your husband, and you must do what he asks. So tonight, you will sleep with me in our room. Imani wondered what was happening to him. First, he ate my food, and now he wants me to sleep in his room? He don't want to, Imani replied. He prefers to sleep downstairs. Listen, I am the man, and he decided. Without waiting, he started taking Imani's things into his bedroom. A husband and wife must sleep in the same room, and that is what we are. From now on, you will have to sleep in the same room, Mama. You can't forget the downstairs room. What has gotten into you tonight? Imani asked. Just go turn off the TV in the living room and come sleep next to your husband, he replied. He turned off the television and dragged her with him into his bedroom. They slept together. The revelation. The next day, after Newton left, Imani also went to her new job at the electronics store. All day long, while he worked, Newton wondered what was happening to him. Normally, he had married Imani to the service parent, but now he was starting to fall in love with her. How could he fall in love with a village girl? That wasn't my plan, he kept repeating to himself. Well, I need to focus on my work and forget this girl. She's not even of my social status. A respectable man like me shouldn't be interested in an ordinary girl like her. Meanwhile, Imani was also asking herself tons of questions. How could he change so quickly? I hope you have nothing to fear with him. With people like him, you can't expect anything. That day, Newton was so distracted and unfocused that he decided to go home because all his thoughts kept coming back to the young woman. Upon his arrival, he noticed that she wasn't in his room and wasn't anywhere in the house. 1, 2, 3 hours passed, and she still hadn't returned. Furious, he began to wonder where she could be. He left the house to see if she was nearby. Suddenly, he saw a car approaching in the distance. He turned back into the house as soon as he saw Imani get out of the car. When Imani entered, he was already waiting for her, looking angry. Where were you, madame? Seeing Newton's face red with anger, Imani already knew she was done for. He went to buy something, she replied, trembling, her body already covered in sweat. Where is this thing? Newton demanded. He had it on the way. It was food. With a disgusted look, he replied, Not only are you a liar, but you are also a prostitute. What could you possibly go out to eat for more than 3 hours, just when I'm not home? And who brought you back? It was someone who just wanted to help me, that is all, she explained. And I am not a prostitute. You are. And you're a cheap prostitute. Newton exclaimed. Didn't you find anything better to do? Imani replied, Sundina noye, yes, I am a prostitute. What does it matter to you, anyway? I'm not married to you. I don't owe you anything. You already told me we only together for picture. I'm free to do what I want and manage my life as I see fit. I use my body for prostitution, not your. Newton replied, it's no longer just your body, it's mine too. I paid dearly for your dowry. You are mine. I have all rights over you because you belong to me. Why does this make you angry? Imani asked. You always told me you intended to marry a woman who suited you and with whom you would have children. So let me do what I want. To. Listen, young lady, Newton continued. From now on, you will no longer go out to buy anything. If you have to leave this house, it will be with me. I don't trust you anymore. I am not a prostitute, and I never will be. I am a woman with principle and value, so I won't let you treat me like that. You don't have the right to forbid me anything. Well, enough talk. I will try to believe your lies today. Now, prepare me something to eat. From now on, I will take my breakfast, my lunch, and even my dinner at home. I won't eat outside anymore. Imani went to the kitchen, looking annoyed, and cooked for him. As soon as she served him the meal, Newton refused to eat alone. He asked her to join him and eat with him. Despite the young woman's protest, she finally gave in because she knew it would be useless to argue with a man like him since he was always right. They ate together for the first time and slept together in their room. The confession and second proposal. Troubles entièrement, Newton came home every afternoon, but Imani was never there. He didn't say anything to her because he wanted to conduct his investigation alone. He decided to dedicate an entire day to following her to find out where she went every day. The next morning, instead of going to his work, he waited outside in his car without Imani noticing. When she finished getting ready, she left and took a taxi. Newton followed the taxi with his car and saw her get out in front of a shop. Newton wondered what she would be doing in a shop. Imani went inside and began selling. It was a routine. Newton realized she was actually working in the shop. He was relieved. At least she's not cheating on me, he thought to himself. I'm lucky he didn't confront her. That could have gone badly. He then returned home to rest, exhausted from having stressed himself out for nothing. Now his mind was at ease. When Imani returned that evening, she noticed that Newton was already home. His car was parked in the yard. She knew he would be furious again, and this time, she would have no way out to justify herself. She went to the bedroom to put down her bag discreetly, but Newton was already waiting for her and coaxed her. So, where were you this time? He demanded. Don't tell me you went shopping again, because he stayed home all morning, and he didn't see you. He wasn't feeling well. He had a fever and a headache, so he went home to rest. And that's why you weren't here all morning? So, can you give me a convincing reason why you weren't home since the morning? You have a fever, don't you? Let me give you some medicine first, she replied, ignoring his main question. No, that's not necessary, Newton cried. He already took the medicine, and he feels much better now. Don't pretend to ignore my question. Just tell me where you were. If you don't answer me, he will leave the house for good, and you will never see me again. Don't do that. I know you want to be happy to learn where he was and what he was doing, but I just want you to understand that I'm not a prostitute. In fact, he went to work. He found a job selling in a shop. He was bored every day at home, and he felt useless doing nothing. Why should he stay home doing nothing when he could also do something and earn money? Newton replied, Why should my wife work as a saleswoman in a shop? You know perfectly well that I am a respected man, don't you? How do you know I'm a saleswoman in a shop? Imani was astonished. And why are you still calling me your wife? Listen, Imani. Initially, I married you to deceive my parents and send them photos whenever they asked. But now, I think it's time to tell you that things have changed. You mean much more to me now. I think I've fallen in love with you, Imani. If you want to work, I won't stop you anymore, since you truly want to. But this time, You will work with me in my department, or rather, our department, if you prefer. Imani was surprised. He had me, he don't really know what to say. He wasn't at all prepared for what you just said. Come, let's go out shopping, he suggested. I'm very tired today, and I don't want to go out, she replied. Okay, no problem. Tomorrow then. Imani was very happy. How can he believe that a man reserved him could fall in love with me so quickly? And to think he loved him, too. ILL make sure he doesn't realize it. ILL tried to make him work for it first to see how persistent ILL be, and then we'll see. A new beginning. The next day, I agreed. Newton took her to the mall for shopping and to get her hair done. He had become so attentive and caring that Imani wondered if he was really the man she had known when she first arrived at his house. After shopping, they went to a city restaurant for a romantic dinner planned by Newton. While they were talking, and at the moment she least expected it, Newton knelt before her and pulled out a ring from his pocket. He asked her, "Will you be my wife, Imani?" There were many people watching them. Imani didn't want to give him an answer too soon, but she didn't want to humiliate him in front of so many people later. Anyway, she loved him too. She decided to take the plunge. "Will you love me and cherish me as your husband?" He added to fill Imani's silence, which was becoming awkward for him. "Well, get up," she replied, taking his hand. She kissed him amidst the applause of everyone present. Everyone was cheering, and you could read in the eyes of the girls present the desire to be in Imani's shoes. Ensemble, Imani announced to Newton that she would sleep downstairs to tease him. "You're going to sleep downstairs? Okay. Good night, then. Don't talk to me tomorrow, Ether. Now you can leave. I want to sleep." Imani sat on the bed behind him and replied teasingly, "Oh, my handsome husband is hungry. You're beautiful even when you're hungry. I love you, my darling. Sleep well." At this word, he suddenly stood up. "Please repeat what you just said." "But I thought you were already sleeping," she mocked. "Aren't you sleeping anymore? Please repeat what you just said," Newton almost pleaded. "He said he loved you, my adorable husband." Newton was overjoyed. He took her in his arms, covered her with kisses, and they hugged. That night was different. They slept together, but this time, like real lovers. A fairy tale ending. The next day, they both got ready, and Newton took her to his department. Once inside, she exclaimed, "Wow, it's so beautiful here. This place is magnificent. Is this your company, or do you just work here?" She couldn't believe it. She had never seen anything so big and so beautiful. Newton replied that it was his company and that, from now on, she would also work there. Teasingly, he added, "You'll be my employee, but I won't pay you." Imani looked. He preferred to staying home every day doing nothing. Buzzed, "Working with you will allow me to admire you all the time. You work here, but I'll be on the other side so we can concentrate better." He introduced her to the company staff and gave her a tour of the premise and everything she needed to know about her new job. Once the inspection was complete, they returned home. Ensemble, Newton's mother called. "I'm very angry with you, Imani. You don't want to give me grandchildren, so you just lead to me." Imani replied, "Good evening, Mama. When will you come visit us again?" "Not until you give me grandchildren," she replied. "Mama, it's your son. He is the one who doesn't want to have children yet. He doesn't want to touch me. Put him on the phone, I have a few words for him." Newton immediately replied, "No, Mama, I am ready to have as many children as you want." Confused, she replied, "Since you can't decide, I'm giving you 1 year to introduce me to my grandson or granddaughter. In 1 year, your father and I will come visit you to see your grandchild." "Consider it done, Mama," Newton replied. They wished each other good night and ended the call. Suddenly, he asked her, "Why did you tell Mama he wasn't touching you?" "He just said what is true," she replied. "Have you ever touched me once, or were you waiting for me to make the first move? You could have told me if you wanted to. He didn't want to pressure you, let alone do something you wouldn't want to do. But if you wish, why don't we make our first child tonight? Okay, but you'll have to catch me first, she replied. She started running, prompting Newton to chase her. That night, they shared their first intimacy. 2 weeks later, they traveled to Imani's village, and with the help of a lawyer read by Newton, Imani recovered her father's house and all the property her uncle Don had stolen from her. All the villagers admired Imani. She was radiant. She had become a very beautiful and well-groomed woman. Newton and Imani lived happily, and a few months later, Imani discovered she was pregnant. She later gave birth to a baby boy, and her mother-in-law and father-in-law came to visit, as planned. They were overjoyed. Imani's uncle Don had planned to destroy her life, forcing her to marry a man she didn't know, but things turned in her favor because she had a pure heart and was innocent. Newton, despite his position as a rich and respectable man, ended up marrying a village girl, a testament to how life always holds surprise. Love is a strong and beautiful feeling. Always be yourself and let your detractor and enemy fall into the trap they set for you. Respond amen in the comments if you believe it.